a retro gamer and hobbyist artist with a lot of nerve. Crolister, the master of ponage. Hi guys, Crolister here with this week's How to Freehand Draw Character video. This week we're gonna do Isabelle from the Animal Crossing series. Animal Crossing characters are usually pretty easy to draw, so this one isn't going to take as long as some of my other characters where I have to do those, anime-style human characters that are ridiculous to try to draw freehand. Alright, so for Isabelle, we're going to start off with the tufts of hair on the front of her head. Just so you know, I'm drawing Isabelle's original design from her debut in Animal Crossing New Leaf, since that's the design that's used in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In New Horizons, they did change her outfit, which I personally like better. So if Isabelle actually returns in the next Super Smash Bros. Game, maybe they'll update her outfit in lieu of, New Horizons, and give her newer looks with the loafers and the nicer looking summer and winter outfits. Until then, I'll be drawing her normal look. I'm going to need to reduce the down curve of the top of the hair, so let me do that. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Then we're going to draw her head tie. About that long. We're going to draw what looks like a bell on that side. And then the top of her hair. Then, from there, we're going to draw a line separating the darker shade from the lighter shade. I'm looking at my amiibo while I'm drawing her, which is why I'm pausing intermittently. Alright, then we're going to draw her dog ears, which is what they're supposed to be. They just slump down on the sides of her head like side hair. They actually have 3 bumps going downward on the side, if you look at the side of her head closely. I'm just going to do it like that on this end, so I can have more of a kind of a slight turn on her head. Alright, bottom of the head's next. Alright, do the nose. I'm going to draw her mouth. If you want to draw her with her mouth open, she has like a buck tooth. And her mouth is, open like this. She has a somewhat mouse mouth, which is a little bit weird considering that she's actually a dog. Oh well. I'm gonna do the eyes later, like I always do. Alright, then we're gonna start off with the top of her dress. I'm gonna draw her arm in a position so that she's waving hi to the viewer. Then we're gonna do the other arm. I'm going to draw a shape like this. her other exposed arm. Then, draw the rest of the top, down to the waist. Then, we're going to draw the rest of this part of her top. Draw a couple of buttons on there. Then I'm going to do her skirts. And her little peggy legs. Then her towel. Give me a few attempts to make it look as close to the amiibo look as possible. Needs to be a little wider. That'll do. Right. Then, just taking a look at the whole picture. I drew her a little bit smaller than I usually draw the characters. Though that's fine because, Isabelle's a small character anyway. And I wanted to make the backdrop in the final picture be slightly rounded on the ground, like the actual Animal Crossing world, as you see. I also didn't pick a dark enough shade of yellow for Isabelle's ears and the top of her hair, so I fixed that in the final picture. Now I gotta put some more detail on the top. First, we're gonna draw a little bow ribbon on the white center at the chest. And make that red. And then we're gonna make a plaid design on the green part at the top. I'll just draw some lines going across the side here. And there. And then follow suit with the other side. Then we're going to draw one vertical line in each side. Alright, one little mistake I'm making is not to color the center of the cross center windings. Those need to be a darker shade. So... I'll just fill those in right now, and then refine them. This might take a little while. And then I still need to draw pockets on the side of her dress. I know, I'm making the wrong color. Alright, then I need to draw her eyes. Isabelle's eyes are black ovals. With white pupils. If that's what you want to call them anyway. And then the tops of the eyes have a distinctive curve on them. Along the lines of this. I was about to forget, she also has dimples on the sides of her cheek, kind of like Kirby. So I'll just add those. And looking at the amiibo closely, the white part of her face needs to be changed a little bit as well. It actually tups like this if you look at like the chin closely. So, a bit more accurate there. And that's going to do it from there. Alright, so here's the final picture. Like I said, I darkened the darker yellow spots, so that looked a little bit more accurate according to the amiibo. I called this a greet from the secretary, because Isabelle is a town hall secretary. And notice how I made the ground rounded slightly in order to make it look like it was actually in the Animal Crossing world. As Omake, I also made another picture of her in the winter outfit, which was very easy to redraw with the same picture. I just needed to make her orange winter coat, and it's not that much different from the summer top, to be honest. And I was going to make this as a multi-image post on my DeviantArt page. So, yeah, that's Isabelle, arguably the most iconic character from the Animal Crossing series, one of Nintendo's most iconic franchises. And there you go. Consider subscribing or at least checking out my channel if you like any of the franchises that I like, as I have listed here, because I do like these franchises a lot and want to talk about them more. I make a lot of fan art of different game characters that I like, and will occasionally try out some retro games on the Nintendo Classics apps and stuff like that. As I showed off in my community posts, I got the new Nintendo console and want to talk about that up ahead. So, to tell you the truth, I have quite a lot planned for my channel. So, consider checking me out, and I'll try to come out with a drawing video like this one weekly moving forward. So with that, it's going to wrap up this video. I am Crolister, Master of Ponage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.